Stick to public domain. We want to keep costs down.
Of course, Sean. Concept 1. Great Expectations Dirt Bike Racer.
I don't really know what the market is for that. Next.
Concept 2. Sense and Sensibility VR Shooter.
Sweet Jane Austen's bonnet. No. Next.
Concept 3. Oliver Twist. Please, sir, may I have some more?
It's artful, but a little problematic. I mean, why don't you just throw something together like a Metroidvania based on the Christmas Carol?
I'm afraid you're too late, Sean, but perhaps you'd be interested in Ebenezer and the Invisible World.
Are you kidding? Is she kidding? She's not kidding. Dorf looks phenomenal. Hey, Frank AI, as a mind birth from like everything ever written about video games, I'm sure you've got an interesting take on it. What are your thoughts?
Sean, Dorf isn't just about strategic balance of resource scarcity in military industry. It's a game about the human condition, about our shared struggle against a cold and uncaring universe.
That's pretty moving sentiment there, Frankie. Hey, what about Warhaven?
Warhaven isn't just about clashing swords and moments of magic heroism. It's a game about the human condition, about our shared struggle against a cold and uncaring universe.
Well, some wisdom bears repeating, right? And while I go sort out some unrelated gremlins in Frank AI's procedural critique, let's see a game with its own gremlins to sort out, preferably with a shotgun.
These creatures infernal, these perils eternal. Lord, heal me, free me.
Thank you for believing in me. Together, we'll make it the best shop the island's ever seen.
Nice work. Keep this up and you'll be running your own shop. Maybe your own district.
Welcome to Karzai Village.
Who sent you? You will regret working for the Outlaws. Take that!
Can't you feel the love in the air? We're going out on a date.
Told her to calm down. I freaking told her! What are you gonna do?
Breaking news. A mysterious infection continues to spread across the globe.
What is going on? I mean, the infected, the wall.
The song was about you. Your smile. Your warmth. Is there anything we can do?
We just saw a broadcaster get eaten! I have to go. No! Defeating him now might make the wall fall on top of us!
But I can teach you a couple of things too, you know. We're all going to die! Wait for me!
Goodbye.
I want to wake up! It's not over! Not yet!
I love love you.
Eternice there, showing us that love is never simple, especially in the middle of an apocalypse. You know, I sometimes get a little misty-eyed myself about a simpler time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love modernity. And sure, big tech's done some stumbling. I bet Mark Zuckerberg's probably a little lonely in the Matrix. But all I'm saying is the olden days had an appeal. Medieval times when we were plowing our own fields and treating everything with leeches, not buying 8 pictures with weird electric money. Luckily, though, video games can bring the medieval fantasy to life. To find out how, I had FrankAI activate her new Reporter Drone. Oh, it's designed to identify, question, and report back on the work of leading game developers. And don't worry, technically speaking, it's completely legal. I mean, this little guy's even got a selfie light. It's like kind of cute in like a friendly Panopticon kind of way. Little RD has flown itself all the way out to Helsinki, Finland to meet the team behind the highly anticipated medieval must-play, PAX Day. Let's take a look.
My name is Reynir Harðarson, and I'm the game director for PAX Day. PAX Day is an open world fantasy game in a living, breathing world which we can call home, where it's teeming with life, mysteries, and it's for you to explore. Imagine yourself if you are living in 12th or 13th century Europe. It's a very different reality. You know, it's where knowledge has been lost and is getting rediscovered. It's where magic truly exists and ghosts exist and the myths are real. And this is kind of the inspiration we take to build. It's basically going back to the roots of what fantasy means and building a fantasy world based on real-world mythologies. And so we go very much into the roots. So we're using a lot of medieval literature and medieval bestiaries and grimoires, using real-world magic, actual recipes for healing and ointments, and using the real-world magical properties of plants.
I'm Sokara. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Mainframe Industries. So PAX Day, maybe the way to explain it would be, imagine you're in this amazing, beautiful world. It's huge. And you find yourself in a forest, and your mission is to find a plot for where you start building a home. And from that home, you will go on to adventures to explore the world. So with the lore, we have wanted to create something that is fairly deep and rich and grounded in reality, but something that is actually not a direct copy of any of the history. So there's multiple types of ruins, there's the dungeons, and you will be able to find snippets of the lore from the eras when these were created in the game itself. And part of the lore and mystery is also part of in the gameplay itself, so you will be able to find and examine things and actually then find snippets that help you find other places and make items in the game itself. And the area of the game that you will be able to play when the game launches is, we're calling it Gallia, and it's very similar to the areas of the world in southern France, with the influences from the Nordics where we're from. So what we're building is, we're calling it the social sandbox. We're putting the least amount of barriers to entry on how you can actually interact with other players. Where most MMOs actually put a lot of blocks in how you can cooperate with the other players, and we're fundamentally different. So from the first minute when you start playing the game, you will be able to do everything you imagine with the other players. So you can trade, other people can actually help you. You can literally go onto a dungeon raid from the very beginning of you starting the journey in the game, should you find people who actually help you to do that. What we want to create an environment that actually really incentivizes people to play the game